M0FXB, welcome back to the channel. Someone asked me, can I compare the Icom 7100 to the Yaesu FTX-1 Optima, which is the 100-watt model, that at the back you get the, it's a whole 100-watt shack-in-the-box radio. So, okay, well, I can only just look at the brochures and the instruction manuals. I've got experience with both because I had the Yaesu 710. I know it didn't have VHF, UHF. And on the left, we've got the 7100, which is right here in front of me. And an excellent device. And one of the key things that we really like about the 7100 is the fact that the head unit is so portable. And it's interesting to say that because the two units are actually connected via an RJ45 type cable. And from that, we can still plug in the microphone and everything. So it's if they could make the connection between the base unit and the head unit, that if they could do away with the RJ45 and do it all via Wi-Fi, wow, you'd have a very portable unit, wouldn't you? And of course, the big one is people are asking for a color screen on that. But anyway, I'll just start off with the Sherwood report, because this is something that people bring up a lot with the Yaesu radios. So, if you understand the sort of technical description of the parameters here, there are many, and you can see that the DX101 and the DX10 and the 710, they're the top three. So I do think that needs to be bared in mind, that testing has been done. So let's just start to scroll down the pamphlets, but the number one thing that stands out to me is that the FTM1 Optima will include an antenna tuner, okay? 100 watt, and it's an antenna tuner, and it's 50 watt VHF, UHF. So the Icom 7100 definitely does not have a tuner. You can buy a tuner very inexpensively these days. A good one is what I use. If you look here, amongst my many gadgets, I have the AT100M Pro. Yeah, and this thing, which just turn it on. Does it need charging? Yeah, it needs charging. It has an inbuilt battery, and it's a 100-watt tuner, and it works really well. I'll put that on charge, and it's just USB-C charging. So anyway, I use this quite often. I actually use, sorry about that. I actually use my PA 50 amp as well quite often. Both of these, and I've got the 100 amp, would work fine with these radios. Not that they need the amp. So let's just scroll down the, the brochures, and then you please give me your comments on what you think. I'm going to start on the left with they're both touchscreen. I know it's black and white, the screen, but to be honest with you, I quite like the black and white. It's very clear and easy. And then the function buttons, if you look here along the bottom, and the angle that they've placed the head unit, it's very small and compact, completely portable. Even if you think about the FTX Optima, by the time you've put the tuner on there, that's become quite a chunk to move around. It's still portable, but quite a chunk. And then has it got underneath? Has it got a mounting? Yeah, it's underneath. You've got the sort of classic camera type mounting hole there. I just looked at the bottom of mine, and you don't need a sound card for the 7100. For FT8, all that, you've got a USB cable on the back, and you can use that. And touch screen, check in the box. As soon as you tap it, the bands come up, the modes come up. You've got signal meter, you've got all your filters. So it's no surprise that it's still selling now, And multi-band mode, digital features controlled by the IFDSP, easy vehicle mounting, then the RSBA1 remote control, and that will be color. I use that. Of course, the radio will never be color, but that software is color, and it works really well. Just scrolling down, and it talks about remote controlling it as well over the internet. I'm sure that the RSBA1 makes that possible. Built-in RTTY and other software that you can interact with the device. DSP controlled ADC, and this is because it's Icom. Then it's D-Star. It's a D-Star digital. But remember, once you get into the digital system, you can use something like the open spot to cross mode to C4FM and DMR, and there's some other budget ways of doing it as well. It's a bit tougher with D-Star, but there are some cross links, and then you've got lots and lots of extras that are available now. Look at the back of the radio and all the the different connections you've got there for accessories and tuners, and you've got 2 antenna connections there, antenna connector for 144. Actually, you've only got 1 HF antenna, which is worth pointing out. There's no Bluetooth. You can, you know, add Bluetooth, a Bluetooth module. Let me get it right. You can with the 5100. Let me just check with the 7100. Yeah, I'm not really seeing Bluetooth for the audio. I mean, you can plug a Bluetooth sender into the 3.5 jack. You're going to get audio. I am seeing that there's a Blue Cat for programming that you can buy as well. I've seen 20UKH made a video on that. So there you are. It's basically shack in the box, no tuner, very, you know, very portable head unit that we all love, basically. So if you look across to the FTX-1 Optima, it will dual receive. So probably I would say that's the #1 thing that you're paying extra for, is that on the left here you're showing in the photograph you've got 70 centimeters, on the right you've got 20 meters. It will even do, let's just say you go 70 centimeters on the left and on the right VHF, it will do that. Yeah, you've got APRS. I know the GPS module is plugged into the side, but at the end of the day it has got GPS, and you can plug in a Bluetooth module, which as far as I can see is for audio, but you never know how they've built this thing. But at the moment, my gut feeling is it's for audio. I'm not seeing any external display connections for both radios, although you've got the RSBA one. And I do think they need to work out how they're going to interface this device with a PC to get some sort of display information. I'm sure it's doable. And I watched a video yesterday of someone saying they haven't quite shipped yet, you know, although it's weeks, they haven't quite shipped. Now, you let me know if you've got proof that they have shipped the FTX-1 Optimas yet. Okay, from a GPS point of view, you can get GPS on the 7100, but you do, and in this case, I just connected it using the OPC2350 cable to the app that Icom give us, which is called ST4. 1002A. That gives GPS to the 7100. So there is GPS with a bit of help, again in an external way. Now, of course, the color screen, you know, is very desirable, but you do pay for that. If they bring out a 7100 with the color screen, I feel like you're going to be adding £1,000 to the price. So remember, you get the color, but then you've got to pay for the privilege. You know, the fact that it's dual band, that's cost a lot of money. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say a lot, because I think for what you get, they're pricing this 2,000-ish for the Optima, and I think it's, you know, it is annoying to pay £2,000 for anything, but I think it's about right. It'd be nice if they chucked in the Bluetooth module and the GPS. I think you'd have many more happier customers. These little things, they do make a lot of difference. Even if they loaded the price previously and didn't tell us, I feel like customer, it's like what they sold the 2730 with no mounting for the back of the radio and the head unit, and you know, you just had to plonk it on the side. That's just bad PR. You know, secretly add a bit of money and then give us these extras. Tell us, oh, this is included, that's included. A nice mount. You got the camera mount underneath the FTX-1 there. Give us a few bits. Make us feel like you've given us something, even if you actually haven't. Makes a lot of difference to PR. I think, you know, I could see them calculating their business going, oh, well, if we don't include that, they'll have to pay 50 quid for that, 50 quid for this, and 50 quid for that. As soon as you go down that road, you're just annoying your customers. Why would you want to do that? So anyway, otherwise, of course, you can run the 7100 into 10 watts. Yeah. So really, you have got the QRP capability there. We talked about tuners. You know, the whole, you know, architecture of this radio where they're using the digital to analog conversion. I've been told it's not hybrid. So read the architecture. You've got the 3D display, but there is averaging that's been put into the instruction manual. Doesn't mean it's actually going to be on the radio, because that might be there for it to interact with another program that Yaesu might be thinking of using to control this radio via your PC, but it is in the setting, it is in the instruction manual that you've got 3 or 4 selections there for averaging. 3D display, I mean, it looks great. It's very cinematic. Looks great on the big screen in your shack. But I feel like most people don't actually use that display. They change the settings. It's not hard to do, and they turn it into what looks like Icom, which is your classic blue waterfall with yellow trickling down. You know, that's your classic, isn't it? But it is a dual band radio, and apparently it will even do C4FM on the left, C4FM on the right. That's clever. C4FM to me is one of the easiest modes, digital modes to use. Way easier than D-Star. Just put your call sign in the radio and away you go. It's literally, so you can't beat that. Just looking at the bottom here. Presets for FT8, which you probably can do something like that with the 7100 sort of presetting. Micro SD card slot, they've both got that. Memory changing, band scope. It's a very basic band scope on the 7100, but it does actually have a band scope. And with the RSBA1, then you know, and that software, I know that you've seen it sell for £100, £200 with the VFO. You've got the VFO thing here, look, which I really like. Yeah, which is this sort of knob here. Yeah, and it's the RC28. That will work with the RSBA1 software. So let me know if I've missed anything. This is really more talking about it from a 100-watt point of view. If you've already got a 7100, do you think, well, I want to have the Yaesu experience? Would you sell your 7100? Because these are still retailing at about £1,400. So you're going to get quite a decent price from even from the ham radio shops or privately. Although I picked up mine, wow, it was literally like brand new in the box, and it was I think I paid £650 for it. That was an absolute bargain, and I literally would never sell that radio. So I think that's about it. I've probably missed something, but the Sherwood report thing is a big deal. Yeah, it is a big deal. And the fact that we've got no tuner does tend to put people off, because they do like to just have one thing, push the button. But these days, antenna tuners, the price is so low. The filtering system on the FTX-1 Optima is going to be excellent, very impressive. You've got PMG mode, quick memory and memory grouping, all the new bells and whistles. They've put it into this device, and it'll be the latest and greatest for at least 4 years. And saying that, you can bet that Icom are not just going to stand by and go, okay, Yaesu have gone forward with this new concept. Icom are now going to do nothing. By the Icom 705 that they which I've got here, so I'd probably do a comparison, but by the Icom 705, yeah, that they're not going to sit back and take this, and there's things they can do with the 705. There's a lot of tweaking there. The other one that they brought out, was it with the 23 SEMs, the sort of the SHF. Did many people buy it? I mean, I just thought it was just too much. It looked fun, but having the external unit and all that, I don't know, and the price, it never appealed to me. I know that they've literally slashed the price on that by £600, but I think they'll slash it again. It's just, I mean, who uses those frequencies? I'm not being negative. I'm just being practical. I'm a ham radio operator. I don't want to use those frequencies. It doesn't appeal to me, VHF, UHF, 6 meters, and all the HF bands. Thank you very much. If I do use 23 SEMs, hardly ever. Yeah. But so thanks for watching my channel, and I'll probably do a side-by-side talking about the 705 next, and look at it from a QRP point of view. Why buy the FTX QRP field model? But I'll just finish off by saying, don't forget, this has never been done before, where you take the head off plug it into the back end of, say, like a 991, yeah, and you've become 100 watts. Then you take it off, walk down the road, and it will do 6 watts with the battery as you walk down the road with a length of wire chucked over your shoulder. It literally, that's not been done before. So you have to take your hat off to everyone, all the development, all these companies, Yaesu, Kenwood, Icom, all of them. And us, we're trying to keep up with what they're up to, which is great. Great for the hobby, and so are all the ham radio shops and the learning as well. Thanks for watching my channel. If you haven't already, please hit the like, subscribe, and I think it's still going to be a minimum of 3 weeks before anyone actually gets one of these at home in their house. I'm not on about Dayton and all that and hamventions. I'm on about at home, just sit there for hours and hours tinkering and just getting the best out of it. But if you've got a Yaesu 710, you're going to have quite a good idea of how this ticks anyway. 7.3, all the best.